Hello, everyone. This is Thomas Pepin NHL Talk. I'm Thomas Pepin, and let's talk about the NHL. So, today is. Oh, God, I don't have that pulled up. A continuation of my series that I've been working on. Just give me a sec. So, this one is mid-player contract timing. And so what we're going to look at is at which ages middle of the pack players have their best performance. So basically it's going to be a tally of all the players within the second grouping that I've established, which is the 8th tier up to the 4th tier. And yeah, I think that's it basically. So, as normal, doing all the work on the spot. So, it's probably going to take me a while, I think, for this bit of data gathering and putting together. So, as always, if you have something to work on, of course, don't be shy, and then you can, keep me on in the background and hear once I get to the spot where I'm talking about things. Or if you want to watch and see how I put together the information and all that, of course you can, and you can always comment. So don't be shy. So I got a bit of a start on it because I wasn't quite the full 15 minutes late that I scheduled. I didn't budget enough time to do the short that I just did about the Bo Horvat trade, and so I kind of got a little bit started on the work here. So give me a moment here to get things to where I can share it, which is now. And so I need to set the filters here. And again, the number of filters I can do is limited, so I won't be able to do exactly what I want in terms of filtering, but it'll be close enough. So again, the group is from 4 down to 8. So we want less than or equal to 20 goals. We want less than or equal to 26 assists. Points we can't do because we need to have some sort of filter to keep it within that bracket. And so this is where we want goals greater than or equal to 11. And that's the most we can do. And then we organize by name. What? Name. There we go. Name, season, and we want ascending. So again, in this case, we're doing consecutive years, and each set of consecutive years counts as one player. Just to make things simple, because again, we're just having a look at a 6-year time frame, so that's from 2013-14 to 2018-19. So also part of the reason of separating one player for, let's say, 2 blocks of 2 years is to essentially estimate what it would be if we did a longer time frame, which we can't do because of lockouts and the COVID years there. So So it's the best we can do. And again, I'm not getting paid for this, so good enough is good enough. All right, so now I have to remember how to do this. So we put 1 year less than the actual length as previously. So Josh Anderson, you see here, 2 consecutive years. So it's going to be 1 plus the 1 that's always going to be in this column. Then we get the birth year, 1994. And then we get the start of the performance here. And that is the second of the portion of the first year, well, first of the consecutive years. So it's going to be 2017. And it's the same, excuse me, method I'm going to be using for all the rest. So if I say it out loud, it's only to make sure that I don't make a mistake. Okay, so we have 2018, born in 88. Oh, something I forgot to do is make it so that the number of pages is less. I want 100 rows. So we have, well, just over 6 pages to do, so it is going to take time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's an hour and a bit. So we were on Armia, Athanasiou, 2017, 94. Oh, and I should say I already did the formulas here so that all the things add and multiply correctly. So start adds on to the add years here, and then end adds on to the add years. Age start is start minus birth year, age end is end minus birth year. And so it does all the math because I did the formulas already. Okay, back is 1 year, 2017. $84. Barchi, 3 in a row, not bad. 2016. 1992. Bailey 1. 2015. Bennett 6, 7, 8, 9, so that's 3. 2016. 96. One. 2014. One thing I wish I still did was play the NHL game, because then I would have most of these things nearly memorized, like birth years and stuff like that. Well, maybe not birth years, but pretty darn close. Because you get to, I mean, when you're doing trades, and especially when you do the be a GM thing, man, do you ever get to know players? Boyle, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 4, 2015, 1984. Six, 7, 1, 2016, 85. Yeah, and I won't buy the NHL game again until the reviews improve. Sorry, give me a sec. This one's one of those mixed up ones. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 4 is 3, 2014. Yeah, they keep getting bad reviews because, of course, it seems like, and it, at least in the past, they just never improve the gameplay, and I cannot handle really bad gameplay. If it's not realistic, it just drives me nuts. So you'll get like defensemen just doing absolutely nothing, just hiding in the corners. And meanwhile, you're getting like a 2-on-0 because the defenseman's nowhere to be seen. It's just ridiculous. So, anyways, won't buy the game until they get their act together. Oops. Six, 7, 8, 9. Oops, 3. 2016. 95. Byron is 1, 2018. Cagilola? I don't know how to pronounce his name. 18. I think it's Kegala. That's another thing, actually, from playing the game. You get to hear all the pronunciations. Not that they're necessarily correct, but they're closer than just your estimates. And I mean, to be honest, if I butcher a name, I don't really, it's not a big deal. Who cares? If they're offended, I mean, you have other things to be worried about, I'm sure, than some random guy saying your name wrong. I mean, like my last name, if I didn't say it, I'm sure most people would get it wrong. And how many times people say Pippin, and it's like, it doesn't even look like that. How do you get that wrong? It's Pepin. I mean, like, there's no I in there. At the beginning, at least. It's not Pipen or whatever. Okay, so we got Clutterbuck 16. Clutterbuck 16. Clutterbuck? Nope. No, that's only 2 years. It's 2015. Comfer. Connolly. I have Christmas music in my head. The Charlie Brown Christmas. I love that album. So I want to whistle it, but then I'm going to be annoying. It's 2 times 2, 2014, and 2018. $92. One thing I'll just comment on. So I find it super odd. So yesterday I had my best day yet on YouTube for stats. And then for whatever reason, none of my videos catch on today. And they're the exact same style. Everything's the same, more or less. Just the updated content. So for example, the scores for the day. One day they'll do good for me, the other day they won't. And it's no different. It just doesn't make any sense to me. YouTube has a weird way of deciding what does well and what doesn't. So it's not entirely about the quality of your content. It's whatever the algorithm decides, basically. It's weird. So all I can do is so I keep posting and testing and trying to optimize to see time of day, content type, or whatever else I decide on. And so you just have to keep testing until you figure out what works, and then you just hope the algorithm does what it does for you in a positive way. So we're all at the mercy of the algorithm. Is Eakin still playing? I haven't seen him. So I need to expand this again. Man, my nose is bugging me. Okay. Yeah, look at Lars Eller, 6 years. It's consistent. I mean, it's not the best performance because he's in the lower tier, mid tier. But consistency really does count for something, that's for sure. At least you know what you're getting. And you can count on what you're getting, too. That's a big deal. That has, at least in my opinion, a lot of value. I find with this one versus yesterday, this one's a lot easier to talk during. I mean, it's not perfectly easy, because as I say that, I start to but yeah, it does feel easier, I think, until I screw something up. Itchy, itchy, itchy. Oh, there we go. 2015. Fiddler. Philpla. What a name. Fisher. Different spelling, Fisher. He was really consistent too. Good player. No longer playing though. Or at least not in the NHL. I don't know where he's at now. I think he's retired. His wife makes too much money. 1 year. 2018. Was it 1 year? See, these mix-ups mess me up. Yeah. Feligno. Oh, that's not right. 1987. 5, 6, 1, 2015. Thirteen, 14. So that's 1 for Galchenyuk. 14. He is 94. Gianta, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 2014. Glenn Cross. 82. Three. 17. 94. 2017. 1982. Howla. Oh, whoops. 2016. They need to update his picture clearly. Hayes, 14, 15, 16. Danny Healy, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2014. Oh man, I cover my mouth while yawning, but that'll affect my productivity. Oh, the eyes are burning. That ring light is bright. Hurdle. 1. Higgins, haven't seen that name in a while. It's nice to see a lot of the, I don't think he's necessarily doing it, I haven't noticed, but see a lot of the retired players do their own podcasts. I think it's a good idea. Why not take advantage of your name, talk about something that you know well. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Talking about Horvat. Yeah, I'll be alright today. Ooh. Why did I do that? 1, 2016, 91. Jenner is 7, 8, 9. 2017. 93. Johnson, 16. 90. Jones, yes. 2015. 84. No, I almost missed Jost. 1, 2018. 98. Kane, 2016. Kane, 2016, nope. Alright, let's expand this some more. Alright, Carlson, no. One, 2018. $95. One, 2018. 96. Killorn, another one of the consistent guys. 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one doesn't count, so that's 3, 2014. 1989. King. 2014. 89. I think Komarov retired, didn't he? Or at least he's not playing in the NHL, I don't think. Stupid thing, stop. Kunitz. 1, 2015. 79. Lekanen. 2, 2017. I wish I was able to do a longer time frame because, man, like there's a lot of these names I'd be interested to know how consistent they'd be. Like Lekanen, he seems like he's a guy that would be extremely consistent, but don't know. All thanks to the the COVID years, the lockout. Man, a lot of broken up ones. Matthias. 2, 2014. Isn't he one of the guys that did a podcast? I can't remember for sure. Again. Oh, another mixed up one. No, he doesn't count. McCulloch. 14. 1984. I'm looking forward to when I don't have to do just stat gathering and I can actually talk about things. This gets tedious and repetitive. So that's 2 times 2. The years are 2014, 2017. sucks because I'm really looking forward to when I finish the series and can apply all this stuff. But you got to do the work first, right? So the joys. All right, so we got Nielsen 17-18. Nielsen 17-18. So that's just one. Oh, I gotta go back. Glad I didn't hit the back button because that would have undid what I was doing. 84. And what was the year again? 2017. Oh, shoot. 2017. Yeah, one thing I'm debating on with the whole series is if I should well, I don't know if it's not even really possible to summarize it in one stream. Yeah, I can't even do that. So I'm thinking about turning it into a book or something like that, an ebook, which I could do. What do you call it when you update it? Trying to think and work at the same time. It's not. No, it's not volume. No, it's editions. There you go. Ugh. So I could do. Oh, that is the same guy. So that's one. Yeah, I could maybe do an ebook and do editions of it and add stuff as I find them. Yeah. Anyways, something I was thinking about. 16, 17 is 1. 2016. One other thing I was thinking about is I don't know if I ever saw or heard if Moneyball has a book or if anybody actually made a strategy book related to the whole Moneyball thing, because that would be cool to review and see if like what's applicable to hockey and all that stuff. Two times 2. That's 2015, 2018. 92. Yeah, and that's another thing. I didn't look to see if there's any strategy books already, again, related to GM strategy on hockey. That's one thing. So it's funny. When I was in school, I had a guy I took classes with that I forget what happened, the whole sequence of what happened, but he asked me about stuff that I read, and I said, I don't read. Whoops, what did I do there? Sorry, 1. See, this is about working and talking. 2014, 2018. Yeah, he asked me, he's like, oh, what kind of stuff do you read? And I'm like, I don't read anything. He's like, how do you come up with all the stuff that you come up with? I'm like, I don't know. And so it's like all these books that he spoke about that he thought I would have read, like um, The Art of War, which I did eventually read because he mentioned it, and then other people mentioned it. It was a good book. And yeah, a whole bunch of other books. Um, what's that one? Is it Machiavelli or whatever? I think it's Machiavelli's the guy's name. I'm bad at remembering names and stuff. I just remember concepts. Um, but yeah, I turned out reading all this stuff that he thought I had read. But what was I getting at? I was getting at, oh yeah, so this whole series and pretty much almost anything I ever do, I never ever try to read from other stuff and develop from there, because then, like, I like to start as a, what do they call it? It's a, blue sky brainstorming or whatever they call it. I forget. I gotta pay attention so I don't screw up. Yeah, I always try to do things completely blank slate and try to come up with what I come up with, because I try to be creative, and I think that it helps the quality of this stuff. And I mean, you can always read the other stuff, because that's what I always do, is I'll come up with what I come up with, then I look at the reference materials and then try to optimize or improve whatever I do. And I find, or I think, that the quality is better that way, because you don't want to be restricted by certain thoughts in your mind, and then you think, oh, this is a great idea, and then you just continue on those lines. Well, if you start from nothing, then I think it's a good idea, because then you can, well, you can come up with all sorts of really unique things. So, and it's like I had in the was it first stream of this whole series, I was talking about the reference materials I use, and so it's kind of arguing against what I was saying, but it's not. It still applies what I mean, which is I use strategies rather than information. So 2014. So like problem solving strategies and stuff like that. So as a great example, I mean, I can't be stuck in a frame of thinking if I'm thinking about engineering, math, psychology, everything except for actually hockey strategy and, well, hockey management strategy. So if anything, it's the complete opposite. You're not stuck in your thinking. You're broad, and in my opinion at least. Oh, these messed up ones. So it's Bobby Ryan will do first is 2017. E7. And then Derek Ryan is 17, 18, 19. I said 17. So anyways, all I'm saying is it's important to pay attention to what you're doing. One sec. Shen 14. Shen 14. Shen, no. What was I saying again? Yeah, it's important not to limit yourself. Use your brain. Try to come up with unique stuff. There's no sense in just what's it called? Can't think of the word and do this at the same time. Basically, where you do a standardized response to things is what I. It's important to try to come up with something new, unique. I think, at least. That's my opinion. What's the saying? And that's all I have to say about that, I think. Forrest Gump. Anyways, back to work. Nearly done on that note. Did I do the same one twice? I think I did. Sheehan was 91. (2015). Sherry 2018. 92. Yeah. So these are kind of some of the mistakes I can make from not paying enough attention. And even paying enough attention, it's still not necessarily going to help me. So it's like I said, since I'm not getting paid for this, it's not of critical importance to be perfect. And this stuff anyways, besides that, oh shoot, another one of these weird ones. Smith. So we have Zach Smith is no good. Ben Smith is only 1. So none for them. Stahl is also a no. There we go. What was I saying? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. So, this is just a small piece of the decision making. I mean, it's more for reference than it is of critical importance. So, even if I made mistakes, it's kind of irrelevant. It's more in concepts. Stewart is 1. 2014. To 17. 93. Tatar Tierney. Salusti. Oh, yes. Oh, another thing I'm really looking forward to. So I think it's two in one subject and one in another of unique ideas I was thinking about investigating, and I hope I can find the answers to them, because I don't know if the data's out there or at least publicly available for it. So I'm really excited about three of the gotta pay attention. Three of the streams at minimum that are coming up. And then, like I said, of course, when I can do the conclusions and stuff and apply all the work that I've done, that'll be nice. But yeah, I definitely should turn this into something, like a book or something. Another mixed up one, so that is only one. 2014. Wingles 14-15. Whoops. Wingles. No. What was I doing again? So it's Wingles 2014. I don't need to do that. So we're just about done. Last 12, was it? Yakubov. 2014. 93. No for Zajac. Whoops. Zibanejad is just one. 93. That's it. Okay, super. We're done. Now I just need to... Oh, shoot. No, I gotta do defense now. The torture. It's too much work. And I gotta do this again. Not tomorrow, but the next day. And then the next day after that. God, it's annoying. Okay, so it's sum plus that, and then that divided by that, I think. So sum plus that, sum, okay, I think I remember. So sum and plus stupid thing. That's V 1605. 1605 sum V 1605. I think that's right. That divided by that. 2 decimal points. And then it was... Do I do min first or max? Min. Min. That should work. 1485. Good. Then we want max. And I think that was it for that stuff I needed to do. Yeah. Okay, cool. So those are the results, but I won't talk about them. Finish the whole shebang first, and then go back and talk about everything. I don't want to do more. I think defenseman is less by a lot, but I think it starts there. This is birth year for group 4 to 2. So again, we're looking at the second grouping of defensemen that I've established from the tiers. So it's going to be the 4th position defenseman up to the 2nd, not including the 2nd. Of course, we'll see that when I get the stat requirements, but let's first do this. Get this all set up. So it is start I fill out, end is start plus years. Age start is start year minus birth year. Age end is what did I do again? I think it was end year minus birth year. End year minus birth year, yeah. Okay. And expand that. Expand that. Save now. The filters. Okay, so now we go to the tiers, wherever that is. Move this over. Whoops. So that is, what did I say? 2nd to 4th. So technically it's the 3rd and 4th we're looking at here. So now to change this. So we want defenseman. Close, close, close. We want goals less than or equal to the 2nd tier, which is 8. We want assists is less than or equal to 25. And then again, because we can only do 3 filters, we just do the minimum goals. So that's going to be greater than or equal to 4. Let's just make sure I didn't screw up. So it's 4 for goals, 8 for goals, 25 assists. And that was it, right? I think so. And we want order by name, then season, descending. Cool. Now we can go back to work again. So again, if you're watching, you can just leave me on in the background. It's going to probably be, I don't know how long. How many people do I need to do? 4 pages. I don't know, maybe something like half an hour. I don't know. So yeah, either come back or leave me on in the background, or you can watch if you want to watch me gather data, which is super exciting. Okay, so we want 2015. My back hurts too. I quit. Oh, Jordy Ben's not bad. 2017. Or at least he wasn't bad previously. I don't know how he's doing now. Banning 2018. BX 1981. Four. Braun is 1. And don't forget, if you've seen the previous streams, it's consecutive years that I'm emphasizing here. So, so if you see 3 in a row, I'm disregarding if they're not in order, or well, in sequential order. Oh, just since I just got to Chera, if you haven't seen the Spit and Chicklets interview with him, it is so good. I made a YouTube short to tell people that hadn't seen it to go see it, but it didn't get any traction, so see, this is one of the things I hate about how you have to rely on the algorithm to pick it up, and you don't really have much control. So anyways, if you haven't seen that interview, it is so unbelievably good, in my opinion. at least for the kind of stuff that I'm interested in. So highly, highly, highly recommend it. And if you aren't sure of where to find it, you can just go to my, 1989. My channel homepage, go to my shorts tab, and then find the one mentioning Chera in the interview. And then there's the link in the description. And I time-stamped it to when the interview starts, so you don't have to listen to all the rest of the stuff that they talk about, which for me, I mean, it's not that they're not interesting, it's just I'm not interested in all the stuff that they talk about. I'd rather just the interview, at least in this case. Actually, to be honest, in all cases, I really am more interested in the interviews. Because the commentary and stuff, like, I mean, I have my own opinions and stuff, and unless they say something dramatic, and then I'll usually find it in social media or news or something, and then I'll go listen to it. But yeah, that's just me. Demers is one. Edler's consistent. I forget if he's overpaid, though. Look at that picture. It's not that, what you would call it. It doesn't make him look good. There's this saying, and I'm thinking too much about work to think about how to say things correctly. Flattering, there we go. It's funny, they say that that people can multitask. It's really extremely difficult, and I forget, I think there's been studies that actually tell that to be effective at something, you can only do one thing at a time. It is extremely difficult to do more than one. Thankfully, this is kind of robotic, so for the most part, I can manage to at the same time, but for whatever reason, I actually have stuff to say today. Other times I haven't. This one's a tricky one. So we've got Jelena 1415. Jelena 1415. And that's it. 2014. There's I forget if it's the same concept. I think it is. Anyways, I think there's been studies where you can do two things at once as long as they're, or at least do two things and not be, and to at least be functional at each of them if they don't use the same, I think it's hemisphere of the brain. So, for example, if you're talking, as I'm doing, now this one I gotta pay attention to. 1, 2, 2014, 2017. So yeah, if it doesn't use the same hemisphere, apparently you can at least functionally do two things at once. So So, for example, if you're dealing with numbers and words at the same time, because they use two different processing parts of your brain, if I'm not mistaken, you can kind of do them at the same time. So, which is why me talking and dealing with numbers, it makes sense why I can do both at the same time, because they're two different things. Anyways, just a interesting fact, and if I'm correct, and I think I'm correct on that, just don't hold me to it. Ooh, 2016 Goudas makes me think of cheese. Hainsey is 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2016. I think he's retired now, isn't he? Hannafin. Hickey is 3, 2016. Everything's sore. This is too much. Too much. I quit. I quit. But if I quit, nobody else is going to do it. So, guess I'm stuck doing it. I think I ran out of things to talk about. Or is that I'm just fatigued? I think one thing, here's something to talk about. One thing that drives me to do this, not that I actually legitimately care to any great degree, but the number of times people have said the trades I come up with are crazy. And the whole point of this series is not to prove them wrong, but I got the idea because of it. It's like, if I can measurably show that these players aren't worth what they're getting paid, then I'm proven right. So it's not just intuition. It's data. I gotta pay attention here. So McDonough 2015. So that one's the no. Because yeah, like I said about, for example, trade away McAvoy because I don't think he's worth his contract. If I can measurably show that he's not worth his contract, at least, I can't perfectly show it because I would need to be super, super into advanced analytics, and they'd have to be super in depth, and we'd have to have like predictive algorithms that tell us everything. Did I do the same one twice? Oops. Yes, I did. See, this is a talking and not paying attention. What was I saying again? Yeah, anyways, so the whole point of this series is to see. Stupid talking. Stop talking, Thomas. Oh, wrong order. 1985. 2014. There we go. Yeah, so all I'm saying is if I can actually show at least some degree of measurability of these things, proving again to some degree that I'm correct, then I don't sound so crazy. I already don't think I do sound crazy on some of the trades and stuff that I've mentioned, but other people think I do. So I might as well work on something to help prove my case. 15, 16 is only one. I think that's 2015. Like the other one was, what's his name from Dallas? It's always defensemen. I just don't think defensemen are worth it. But what his name was, I can't think on the spot. Heiskanen. Or Heiskanen, I think is actually how you pronounce it, but I say Heiskanen because it looks like it. And I don't care that much. But yeah, another guy, I think if you get just a serviceable defenseman to fill the spot and then replace that money with a forward of the same cost, the combined performance is actually going to increase. That's what I argue. And so if I can make up this whole strategy and then indicate clearly with the data that players should be signed for this long, should get paid this much, then, how can you argue against it? If it's as clear as day as I hope it will be. I don't think it'll be perfect, that's for sure, because like I said, you'd have to get into crazy models, algorithms, whatever you want to call it. And it's just that stuff. I'm not doing that. I have my own algorithm, like I've mentioned previously, that I use for betting, but it's kind of rudimentary and it accomplishes what I want, and that's it. I can still use it for some of this stuff, but I can't show it because it's my work that I use for betting, and it makes me money, so I can't do that because I'm not sharing my money makers. Sorry. Also not sorry. But anyways, like I was saying, I reference them for 1986. I reference them when I talk about those trades, just at least to superficially mention at least the improvement to expected goals or whatever. Oh, my back. If only I could lay down and do this, which I can, but I can't stream and do that because that would be weird. $16, $17, $18, $19 is 3. Savard's consistent, but I think he's still overpaid for his level of performance, at least. But I'm nearly there, I think it looks like. 6, 7, 8, 9, another one, Scandella. And I think he's also overpaid. This one I don't know for sure. I'm just going based on memory, which is not strong on that. Schultz is 2. Seabrook, he just disappeared out of nowhere. He was a top defenseman and then just nothing. See, that's I've talked about. Oh, sorry, I gotta pay attention now. 2018. 1819 Slavin. So what was I talking about again? I can't remember now. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I wonder, because I've said this before. Oops. 2014. I think sometimes players just disappear, or players disappear just because they won't sign for the amount that people are asking for. So it's not that they... It's not that they're not good enough to play. It's that they're not getting offers that they're willing to play for. I think happens in a lot of cases. It's hard to say because, again, I mean, unless you know why specifically, well, I mean, you have to know, so... It was 2017. But yeah, maybe Seabrook didn't play because he couldn't get a contract for the amount he wanted, and then he's just like, screw it, I made so much money, I'm done. I think that's probably often the case, but of course I have no idea. I'm just guessing. It's too bad because, like, maybe they could sign for just like league minimum or like $1 million or whatever, and then play for a team that's competing for a cup and then win a cup because the team can afford to have a good roster. And anyways, but I guess if you made like $30 million, why do you need to play? Because you could get hurt if you have kids and a family and whatever. Is that the last one? It is the last one. Hey, we're done. And I gotta do the calculations and then I can talk. Is the door off? I deserve a drink of water. I'm thirsty. Oh, man. Okay, so we want some plus V 861, I think. Yes. Sum equals that divided by that. 2 decimal places. Oops. You want these. Min. Cool, we are done. Okay, do I talk about... Yeah, I'll talk about defensemen first. Save that water. Ugh. Alright, so I can close that. What's the best way to do this? I won't do full screen. Make this bigger. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I want to do one more thing. I'll need this smaller to do that quicker. We want sort by ascending. I think add years is right. I'll do that for here too while I'm at it. Sort, add years, ascending. All right, so you can kind of see already the answer. It's very obvious, but nonetheless, we'll show exactly. So, oh yeah, I gotta make this bigger again. So the average duration of a defenseman from the third and fourth spot on the roster, according to the tiers that I established. I forget the start of the sentence that I just did. But anyways, so the duration of performance for that group of defensemen, as you can see here, is 2.33 years. So if you actually just scroll through, you can see all these ones on the add years. So that means 2 years, like I previously explained about how I do this together, because it's this column plus this column. And so anyways, you can see all these ones. So really it's 2 years is the most frequent duration of performance for this grouping of players, defensemen specifically. And then you've only got like a handful of 3 years and a handful of 4 years. So clearly, based on that, which is mentioned previously in the thing we did yesterday, that the duration of a contract should really only be around 2 years based on the consistency of their performance within their grouping of players. But that's not the main goal of today. The main goal today is to figure out the time frame of the performance. So very clearly here as well, it can happen at any time. So you could have a starting year of age 19 going up to 41. So your 2 years or 2.33 average years of performance could start at age 19. It could start at age 41. And then it will end between age 20 and 42. So it'll be 19 to 20 or 41 to 42 or any other 2-year time frame in that whole range. So basically, there's no consistent trend of age for performance. And then, as we mentioned previously, because at this time it's not bad to review, the average duration was again 2 to 3 years, as you can see here. And it's the rare case that they can maintain their consistency for, again, 4 years here and 5 years here. So, yeah. So anyways, for middle of the pack defensemen, in theory, based on this at least, you should only really sign them for 2 to 3 year contracts. In theory. Or less. I mean, because we're not including all those 1 year performances from all the rest of the players that we didn't include. So anyways, so that's that for defensemen. Moving over to forwards, it is once again the exact same. So 2.38 years is the duration, and then if we scroll through, as you can see, all these ones, which again, remember, add them together is 2. All those ones. Then there's a chunk of 2s at least. There's more for forwards. So they're at least, forwards are more consistent in their performance, it seems at least. And then a chunk of, these are technically 3s, a chunk of 4s, and then a rare case for 5 or 6 years. So, and again, starting age of anywhere between 20 and 40, so it could be any point in their career. They could have, on average, 2.38 consecutive years of performance, and then ending more or less 2 years from that time frame, and so it's completely broad. So, conclusion again, besides the age of the signing, which essentially we've shown that it's irrelevant, the age, but what we've shown again, if we go back to the results from yesterday, that the group from 4 to 8, it's 2 to 3 years, is the total number of years that they have within this 6-year time frame of this grouping of performance. So realistically, based on the two things combined, you only want to sign contracts of 2 to 3 years for forwards in the middle 4 spots. So essentially from 4, well, not 4, so it would be 5, 6, 7, 8. Those positions in your roster depth should only have around 2 to 3 years as their contract length, in theory, based on this information. So that actually concludes everything, which it's funny, it can be summarized so quickly, but the work, as you see, is not so quick. Thankfully, at least, I'm comfortable with spreadsheets and I can get things done relatively quickly, but it's a process, as you can tell. So anyway, so that's it for today. If you like the stream, hit the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, turn on notifications. Channel homepage will tell you upcoming schedule for streams. It should be 2 p.m. Daily Eastern, except for Sundays. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments, suggestions likewise, and we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be taking the average contract, or determining the average contract and the range of the contracts for this same mid-level group, so for forwards and defense. So that is it. So thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you same time tomorrow. I've been doing the wink at the end of the stream yesterday and today. I don't know if I'm going to continue that. That's weird. All right, bye.